Welcome to the VetSpecs demonstration room. My name is Casey Bishop, and today we're going to be discussing how to utilize our VetSpecs handheld Capno-5 capnography monitor. If using the VetSpecs Capno-5 independently, the setup will include, of course, the main unit, a charge cable, a stand to hold the Capno-5 unit upright, 4 of the 6-foot, what we refer to as sample lines, 4 of the moisture control filters, and also an airway adapter. If utilizing the Capno-5 handheld unit as an add-on to either our VetSpecs WM100 wireless multi-parameter monitor or our compact WM10, VetSpecs is also going to include a Bluetooth receiver key. This receiver key is necessary for the Capno-5 to wirelessly communicate to either of the 2 platforms. Let's go ahead and discuss some of the display information on the Capno-5. Of course, up again here in the upper right hand corner, we're going to have the battery indicator. Certainly just charge the Capno-5 as needed based upon the status of the battery. Again, there's that little antenna icon. We are not Bluetooth synced right now. As you see, it is blinking. There is a little bell. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We of course have the end-tidal CO2 value showing at 38 in demonstration mode, the respiration rate here, and then also the fractional inspired CO2, as well as the capnogram itself here. The Capno-5 has already built-in high and low ranges for all values. Again, this is the ranges for essentially all information: respiratory rate, end-tidal CO2, and so forth. These ranges are again preset. You are able to access the ranges and adjust high and lows where you wish. In order to do so, just simply push the little icon in the upper left-hand corner. Looks like several pages stacked on top of each other. You are then able to, you'll see that we are by default on the CO2 set or settings. To enter into that, just simply hit enter. You're able to navigate up or down and go into individual adjustments with the arrow buttons. At any time, once you're set where you would like to be, just hit the multiple page icon in the upper left-hand corner, and we're going to go back to the main display. As I mentioned earlier, you do have preset ranges for each of the values on the Capno-5. If you have an audible alarm going off and you wish to silence that alarm, just simply push the silence icon button here. Again, that's going to be the little bell icon with an X. Push that one time, and again, the icon on the screen in the upper right with the bell. If you see that X over the bell, again, that is your visual cue that the alarm has been silenced. Let's go ahead and discuss some of the different options and features and buttons and so forth on the side of the Capno-5, or the sides, I should say. On this side, we're going to have the power button in the lower left-hand corner. Right here we have the speaker. On top of the unit, we're going to have the location where the CO2 sample and filter line is connected to the top. We will certainly discuss more about that. Here on the lower right-hand side, this is the charge port where you plug in your charger. Throughout this tutorial, I've had the Capno-5 in a what we call a demonstration mode. Right now I have turned the unit off, so let's go ahead and power the unit on. Again, just push and hold the power button. The unit will power up. It goes through a very short boot up process. And what I'd like to have you notice here on the display, we're going to see where it says line off, pump off. We're also going to notice on top of the unit where the CO2 sample and filter line port, where it connects, the port itself is blinking. That is indicating that there is no sample or filter line connected, hence the message that you're getting here. So we do want to create a sample and filter line. Let's go ahead and do that now. A sample and filter line is made up of 3 different components: the 6-foot sample line itself, moisture control filter, and an airway adapter. To assemble one of these lines, just simply take each end of the sample line itself. There is a lure lock right on the end. Just simply twist on one end the moisture control filter, and on the other end the airway adapter. That does twist on just a few turns and it is locked in place. Now that we have the Capno-5 powered on, to make it functional, we do need to attach the sample and filter line. So all that we want to do is take the sample and filter line. This is a keyed connection port. So in other words, this filter will only go in one way. When we attach the filter to the port, we do want to press down firmly. This is a very nice sealed connection, and when we insert the filter into the port, give it a nice hard turn and turn it clockwise or to the right, and it will lock in place. We know that we have properly connected the sample and filter line because the light on top is now a constant light. Again, that is your indicator that you are properly attached. If that light were to continue to blink, disconnect the filter line and reattach and give it one more try. You should be good to go. Now that we have the sample and filter line properly attached to the top of the Capno-5, of course we have the unit powered on, we are now ready for use. Just simply take the airway adapter. This will attach between the endotracheal tube coming from the patient and the anesthesia circuit, or the anesthesia tubing, if you will, that'll attach here. At this point, the Capno-5 is now drawing a small sample of the patient's respired breath through the line, all the way to the point of the moisture control filter. This filter is now filtering out that moisture so that the only thing going into the unit for sampling is a dry air sample for measurement. It is important to note that the CO2 sample and filter line items, they are semi-consumable. The anesthetic gas will eventually cause the airway adapter to become brittle. The moisture that collects inside the lines, you will get residue buildup as well on the filter. It will become saturated with moisture as well. Residue will build up within the filter. So in order to make the most or get the most out of these sample and filter lines, we do have a protocol in place to maximize the lifespan. To maximize the performance of the Capno-5 and the lifespan of the semi-consumable sample CO2 sample and filter lines, we do recommend after each procedure disconnecting the filter and sample line that was in use. Go ahead and disconnect the filter, set it out in an open area so that it can dry while not in use at that time. As well, disconnect your airway adapter. As far as the 6-foot line, we do recommend draping the line that was in use somewhere evenly over a hook or something of that nature. Again, that will allow both the filter that was in use and the line that was in use to dry out. As mentioned earlier in this video, your Capno-5 is going to come with 4 of the 6-foot lines, 4 of the moisture control filters, and the airway adapter. We do recommend taking a Sharpie and marking your filters 1, 2, 3, 4, and rotating again each of those filters and each line out in between each procedure. By rotating 4 full lines and filters out, that is again going to maximize the lifespan of those components. If you utilize our recommended protocol of swapping out the sample and filter lines in between each procedure, you will be able to get the most life out of those components. You will know that it's time to replace all of your lines and filters when you receive a red light, when you've attached a filter and a line that has been dried overnight. You go to use it on any given day, the next business day, you attach the filter and the line. If that light that is normally a blue, purple color, if it turns a red color within the first 5 minutes of use, that is your indication that it's time to retire the 4 lines and filters that you have been using, go ahead and dispose of those and order a new set of sample and filter lines.